All right, guys. So, what the crap, right? Why do I have a Windows computer? Why am why am I doing stuff on Windows? So here's the thing: is I just got recently asked why do I use Windows? Actually, I think that was the exact questions. Yep. Why do you use Windows? So here's the thing. Now, most people would be like, dude, you're crazy. What are you doing? And the reason is because Macs are notably good for design related stuff, for any sort of non Windows programming, for instance. They're known for that, like from PHP to Node to Python, Ruby, all sorts of stuff. Known for that too. Video editing, people think of Macs a lot. Any sort of photo editing, all of these things that I do, right? And so why in the world would I have a Windows PC? Now, first of all, I do have here. I will unplug it real quick, but I do have a 13-inch MacBook Pro. It's relatively new. I love it. It's freaking awesome. So, just as a side note, I also have. By the way, I might actually do like a little mini review of this. But if you can notice here, this is the Magic keyboard, but it's like the newer one. So it's the newer USB or Bluetooth keyboard, and I like that too. That's awesome. So, and then I think if you guys watched my last video, you know that I actually use a 10 key wired keyboard on my Windows computer, even though it's a Mac keyboard. Crazy, but I just love the way that it types. So here's why, despite the fact that I do photo editing and I mess around with photography, I do video editing and all of that stuff. Here's why I jump to, or that I have a Windows desktop, because I have this powerful, really nice 13-inch MacBook Pro that is almost fully upgraded. I think I went one step down on the processor, and that was pretty much it. And I kind of regret that I didn't just take the next leap and jump up one level. Now, that being said, why would I possibly use or even consider using, instead of just like, okay, I have two monitors here, right? Whoa, crap, I'm about to like knock over my microphone. So I have two monitors, one right here, one right here. The one that you guys are seeing is right here. So that's this. So why would I possibly use Windows if I have that and I could just hook up the external monitor, boom, have two monitors, Mac? There are things that I absolutely love about Mac. Here are a couple of them. One is they're extremely fast. And when I say fast, I mean basics, like starting up. They boot faster than a Windows computer probably ever will. And it like truly boot up into loading all of the applications that you need. What else? You have a lot of things are just easier as far as installing and utilizing, and like setting up development environments, for instance, can be pretty easy on a Mac compared to a Windows. Although it's evening out. Code editing, stuff like that, it's about even if you're doing something like Node or Python, PHP even. I'm not a big fan of PHP, but that's a completely different story. So, Mac versus Windows. Why would I get this desktop computer? Well, let me tell you what the desktop computer has in it first. So it's a decent processor. It has a AMD 8320. It's not Intel. I'd prefer it to be Intel. But it has a MSI 990FX motherboard, which is a great motherboard. It has 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM that is overclocked, as well as my CPU is overclocked. So it's a 4.3. It's overclocked to 4.3 gigahertz right now. As a matter of fact, I can show you guys that in a second here. So, got that. Got a NVIDIA 970 card in there, FTW. So with that video card itself has 4 gigs of independent RAM. It has its own GPU, right? So when I do a lot of video editing, which requires tons and tons of space, which you might argue, well, Blake, you can just get external drives for the space. You're absolutely right. But, and I use that even on my Windows computer. So I have a couple of solid state drives in my Windows computer. They're really fast. Is this computer, as far as read-write speeds on the solid state drive, as fast as my Mac? No. Their Macs just have really, really amazing PCI bus connections for their SSDs, period. That being said, why would I use it? Because I can throw in 32 gigs of RAM in this desktop. I can upgrade components, one component at a time, and I can basically make this thing super beefy without that much cost compared to a Mac, where you don't have the ability to customize components, so to speak, because now they're soldering everything directly into the motherboard and all sorts of stuff. So when I'm doing something like video editing that requires, a lot of processing power and a lot of memory and a lot of, GPU utilization, when I do that on a machine that is overclocked to 4.3 gigahertz, that has 32 gigs of gaming RAM, that has 4 gigs of RAM that is dedicated to the graphics card itself, it's built into the graphics card, and it has its own GPU, doing stuff like that does not slow this system down at all. The Windows computer, it will absolutely slow down my Mac, and it causes it to get really hot. If you have a MacBook Pro of any sort, you will notice those things get really hot. The cooling on them does not feel very effective, and that's a little freaky. Now, that being said, the battery life on the 13-inch MacBook Pro is fucking amazing, period. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is solid. I can code for like 12 hours straight on that, anywhere between 9 and 12 hours straight. So, battery life on that is amazing. I love coding on it still. I actually enjoy coding on my Mac more than I enjoy coding on my Windows computer. My Windows computer isn't my coding computer per se, and neither is my Mac. I use, honestly, right now I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down at a desk, and I already have both of these monitors hooked up to my desktop computer. So while I can just flip up my Mac and start coding on that too, or instead of, and I could pop one of the displays off and hook it to my Mac and code on that. And that's great. I actually prefer coding on my Mac for sure, especially when I'm doing Node development. So Node.js, when I code on that, absolutely, without a doubt, that's what I like. So playing a little music in the background because I'm hearing a little bit too much of myself, even though, I'm live streaming. I get it. So that is why, though. It's because of the amount of RAM that I can throw into this Windows computer. It's how I can upgrade component at a time. And then I have that independent dedicated graphics card that if I wanted to upgrade, I could either upgrade the graphics card itself, or I could add another 970 card in there and do an SLI configuration, right? Which would allow me to take a lot more strain off. So if I wanted to go up to, right now I don't have 4K displays, but if I wanted to go up to 4K displays, I could do that without worrying too much about it or putting a lot of load on my system. So really the only thing that my Mac doesn't do very well, I guess there's two things. The first is gaming. If I feel like doing gaming, which I haven't actually played computer video games or any video games of that matter, outside of a puzzle game on our iPad with my daughter. That's literally the only thing that I played game wise. So that being said, it's, if I want to play games, it's Windows all the way. I mean, we just know that. Now they're starting to make, stuff like BattleNet, certain games, you can play them on Mac. It's not optimized for it or anything like that, but you can get away with it. Live streaming is a little bit easier because of how much system resources I have available on my PC. Could I do it on my Mac? Absolutely. But I'll have more options as far as components, things like that I'm using, that I don't have to write code for myself and try and build in a Mac computer. So that being said, this is why. I mean, this is seriously why. It's because I have a lot of power to pull from with my desktop computer, period. And when I do video editing and stuff like that, I can let this thing be a workhorse. I can use Adobe Media Encoder and queue up, say, 4 or 5 videos that I've worked on and tell it to encode them all, and it'll just, it'll, burn through those way faster. Actually, I haven't downloaded Handbrake on my my Windows computer yet, but I plan on doing that. But yeah, video editing on a Mac is awesome. Whether you're using Adobe or Final Cut or whatever you're using there, I use Adobe Premiere, so that's really great on a Mac. Premiere works freaking fantastic. It's just when you're constantly rendering and stuff like that and utilizing large amounts of memory, it can get bogged down pretty easy. As powerful as my MacBook Pro is, it still gets bogged down pretty easy. So that's why, guys. I am not a Apple whore, and I'm not a Windows whore. I'm not like super into either operating system. And to be completely honest with you, the amount of problems that you get on a Windows computer as opposed to a Mac is insane. Like, the whole reason that I did that Node.js setup tutorial for Windows is because I had to wipe my entire system because of just tons of stupid little issues. It just became too much. So that's what's up, guys. I do have this Windows computer. It's great for what it is. I definitely like to do video editing on it. I have my dual monitor setup here. It works great. A lot of times I will use full on both monitors for whatever I'm editing, and I have just enough power to do whatever I want really, really easy. So it's something that, is chill. So this is basically, this is my Windows computer. It's nice. I can do whatever I want with it. I'm running Windows 10 on it, in case you're wondering. But even with me live streaming right now, it's like it's not using tons of resources. So to give you an instance of what's happening, right? OBS, which is Open Broadcasting Software, which is what I'm using to stream right now, is using 25% of the overall CPU. Now it is streaming this to YouTube live, and it is recording the video separately on my hard drive at the same exact time, and I'm noticing really nothing in my system. Like, I have plenty of CPU to go, all sorts of that. You go to CPU performance. Look, this is maximum speed of 4.3. It's running at 4.26 right now. Yeah, as far as memory, you can see 31.9. I have 32 gigs of RAM in there. It's only at 22% of that use. We can see what's up with the Ethernet, so my network connection, my 3 disks. So yeah, this is super easy. This one is an external one. This one is this is actually a hard disk drive. This is my solid state, the C drive. But you can see, even with all that crap going on, it's totally chill. It's not doing anything to it. So this is why I have a Windows computer, period. I actually really, really enjoy coding on a Mac, more so than on a Windows computer. And for about almost a year, I refused to use Windows almost entirely. So this is why I went back to Windows, and not back in terms of I'm never going to touch a Mac again, or I'm even going to use it as my primary operating system. But this is why I have a Mac here, and it's a nice one. It has a liquid cooler on the processor to keep it nice and cool. I have some extra case fans in there to give it some airflow. And yeah, I must say that after fixing massive amounts of problems with this Windows computer, which I'll completely admit to, after fixing that and getting my system back up and running to the way it should be, it's really nice to have a computer that is this powerful. And you could obviously have a more powerful system than me, not too hard, but this is a powerful system. It does everything that I need to, especially when it comes to video stuff. So you guys will generally see me live streaming from this computer. I'll probably live stream from my Mac here and there as well. But this is pretty much it. This is a little test project that I just created, right? My test appy sauce. Appy for application, sauce. Yep. Pun intended. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's why I use, that's my long rant about Windows versus Mac. Mac does a lot of things better for an average user. Definitely a better choice for even an advanced user, depending on what you're doing. Quite often a better choice. But if you're doing a lot of video editing or editing really large files and you want some extra memory, you're not going to be doing that on a MacBook Pro. You might do that on a Mac Pro, which is I think those start off at like $2,800. But you're not gonna do it on a Mac Pro with high resolution footage and be happy about it. I guess it's slower, and Macs are fast. Considering how much, pound for pound with the hardware that they have, they are faster than Windows computers. But I just have so much extra RAM, and I have some great processing speed in this because it's overclocked, and my stuff's liquid cooled, so I'm not too worried about that. I have some extra ventilation from fans in there. So yeah, guys, that's it. And I have the dedicated graphics card. That's the NVIDIA GTX 970 card, FTW. So yeah, that's why. That's pure why. Nothing super saucy about that or special. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And hit me up in chat if you guys are watching. There should be a little chat box somewhere around this video. So next time you guys see me on stream, rock it out, and subscribe to me in the meantime if you guys like seeing this type of stuff. And let me know in the comments what kind of videos you guys want me to make, because I'm gonna definitely be doing some video editing, some photo editing, using Lightroom, using Photoshop, using Adobe Premiere. I don't know how much I'll get into After Effects, but there'll definitely be that. I'll use Adobe Speed Grade. I'll use Prelude. You'll see me use all that kind of stuff. So whatever you guys want to see, obviously coding videos will go up as well. I don't know if I'll show you. I might even show you guys actual projects that I'm working on, or little technologies that I'm screwing around with. I'm thinking about using Node to make a desktop app, actually. So you guys can see my me go through that interesting little bit. I don't know how that's going to go. So I guess we'll see what's up. So until next time, guys, subscribe, like, comment on the video. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I will talk to you later.